Hello and welcome. In this video, I am going to show how I create an AI toolkit to organize all the prompts and products that I generate across various AI platforms. You can pause along the way and create a matching doc and spreadsheet if you want to, but I do plan to provide a link at the end where you can grab a copy of my toolkit if you prefer. I started by creating a folder in my Google Drive titled 00-All Things AI, and then I've added a doc and a spreadsheet. I called my document AI Toolkit and my spreadsheet AI Tracker. First, I'll show you how I set up the document. Now, you won't need all the same tabs necessarily that I have. I like to build for redundancy, but you do want to add a tab. You'll click the Add tab, and the first one you do want is, and I'm going to click Rename so you can see, I named it View My AI Tracker Spreadsheet. All right. And then over here, we're going to put a link to the AI tracker. Okay, I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to come over to my AI tracker spreadsheet, click Share, and copy the link. And then I'm going to paste the link here. And that's all set. Now, when I open this file, I can quickly jump to the AI tracker. Remember, I said I like to build for some redundancy. The next thing I did was added a subtab that says Prompts by Tool and a subtab, or a tab rather, that says Prompts by Type. Then under each of these, I have added subtabs. So you click on your three dots here, and you can add subtabs, and I've named them for each of the different types of tools, the AI tools that I use. So you would only need subtabs for the tools that you use or you're thinking of trying. So you might want to pause here and create your tabs. I have tabs for Canva, ChatGPT, Gemini, Magic School, Mizu, Notebook LM, School AI, and Snorkel. Those are my most used. The next thing I'm going to ask to do is create some subtabs for the prompts by type. I started with chatbot for students, lesson planning, parent communication, and rubric. I also want to add a couple of others. I'm going to add a tab for quizzes. Sometimes I have it generate a quiz. I like to keep these alphabetical, so you get the idea. Go ahead and add in, I think I want one for choice boards also, because I made a good bit of choice boards. Add a subtab and rename and drag it to where I want it in the list. All right, so pause and set these up so that they'll be ready for you to use. So this entire doc just consists of tabs and subtabs where you'll be able to track your AI usage and your prompting. All right, now it's time for us to tackle the spreadsheet. So if you're starting from scratch with me, you'll want to pause the video as you complete each step. On the very first sheet, you won't have all of this information. This is my directions page that I provide on my template for everyone. But what I do want you to create is a link to your AI Toolkit document. So going back to your document, click your share and copy the link. And then over here in your spreadsheet, add that and paste your link in. And that will be all set. Then you want to create a new sheet. I've got one here. It's called Sheet 4. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and work to get things set up. So I'm going to click the row indicator, the number 1 over here. I'm going to reset the size to 14, and I'm going to put my headers in here. So tool, prompt title, use case, link to content. Here I'm going to put tried it. I don't need to type anything here. I'm going to go ahead and merge these two together for the rating and notes. And then related files I'm going to put over here. Okay, and I can do a bunch of resizing on this. I can change my background color, and you can do that for, you know, however you want it to look. I'm just going to do some centering, bold, and then I'm going to do a little resizing on these. Okay, so let's see. All right, now I'm going to set up my notes to word wrap. So I'm going to go to format. After I highlighted the H, you saw that there, I hope, and I'm going to set it to word wrap and make that just a little bit longer. Okay, I am going to shrink F because this is going to be a short drop down, and I'm going to show you all of these pieces in just a moment. All right, so I need another sheet, and on this sheet I'm going to label it tools, and I'm going to label the next one use case. So this is going to help me to make those drop downs. Okay, and I have these already somewhere else, so I'm going to just paste them in. You'll have to stop and pause and take time to type in any of them that you want to add. You don't have to use all of the ones that I use, and I'm just doing a little formatting here. So go ahead and format things the way you want them. All right, and like I said, pause and type in any of the tools that you use or think you might use, and any of the ways that you plan to utilize those tools, those AI tools. Go ahead and do this. All right, so mine is all set. Make sure you pause, fill yours in, and then come back. I'm getting ready to move on. All right, so before I leave this sheet, I'm going to rename it so that it is titled Drop Down List, and then you can just press enter for that. All right, and now we're ready to go back over here and do some setup on these fields. So I'm going to start in column A, and I want to create a drop-down list. So I am going to go to the data menu and choose data validation. Now I'm going to add a rule, and I want this rule to start in A2, not A1, because A1 is a header, so I don't want it to impact that. And I want to drop down based on a range. This drop down needs to be a range from this sheet over here. So the easiest way to do this is to click on the sheet and select that range. Go a little extra in case you might decide to add some more later on. So I'm going to go as far as 40 and click OK. And then I can change the color scheme for each one of these however I want it to be. So go ahead and work your way through that and click done when you're ready with that rule. Then you're going to go back to your sheet, and if you click on one of those drop downs, you'll see anything that you've adjusted there. Any of your drop downs, you've got your menu ready. All right, now we're going to repeat that to create a menu, a drop-down list for column C as well. So clicking the header for C and adding another rule. And again, we want this to start in C2, not C1, and we want to get the drop-down from a range. So I'm going to click on this to select the range and go back to my drop-down lists. And I'm going to select again down to 40 in case I ever add on to that. And once again, I can change my color scheme. I can even get custom colors if I want to. So just go through those steps and add those rules. And you will again see that populate super quickly. So pause while you do that. I'm going to keep going though, so come on back when you're ready. All right, my next step is the rule for column E. I want column E to be a checkbox. So again, select all of column E, go to add rule. I don't want it to start at the header, so exclude the header by changing this to E2, and then make this a checkbox. Go all the way down the list, find checkbox, and that's going to insert a checkbox here that we can check off when we try this particular, each one of the prompts, so we can keep track of that. All right, and we have one more rule to make. This is for column F. I merged F1 and G1 together. They're going to work together to do a fancy rating scale. This is how I got the stars. If you've already watched my other video that is my how to use this toolkit, you saw my star rating. So this is how I made it. I'm going to add a rule, and this is going to be a drop down. It's again going to start in F2, and this time the drop down is going to be just the numbers. So I'm going to just put the numbers in instead of having it look them up. And I'm going to go up to 5. And that is it. Now I do want to resize this so that the arrow shows, but I don't really want the number to show. So I'm just going to resize it so that I can see the arrow to click on. And that's all I really need. I don't really need to see the number because the stars are going to show the rating for me. All right, so now the rating is a little trickier. Not terrible though. So I'm going to close. These are all my validation rules. So I'm going to close those. For the rating, you have to type in the formula. So here, I'm going to give you the formula and I'm going to put it nice and big on the screen for you as well. Okay, so here's what the formula looks like. Equal sign, REPT, parentheses, quotes, and then the star emoji. And so you may have, I'll drop a link to where you can get this star in my notes. And then end quotes, comma, F2 tells it to start in cell F2. And then REPT in caps. And then this open star, this is going to give it a filled in look that matches your rating. And then the other stars will be open and not filled in. And then a comma, and then 5 minus F2. So it's basically subtracting, it's calculating for you here. Now when I press enter on this formula, last time I did it, it prompted me whether or not I wanted to fill in all the way down, and I just accepted it. But you can grab the fill handle and you can just drag all the way to the bottom. It'll take a minute because there's 1,000 rows, but just click and drag all the way till you get to 1,000, and it's going to fill in that formula and update it for every single row, and you're going to have those stars. If you want them to be bigger, if you want them to show off a little bit better, you can change the default size. I'm going to make it 15. That way they're going to show up a little bit nicer. And I want these to be colored as well. So we're going to do one more type of formatting. This is conditional formatting. So click your format, conditional formatting, and we're going to remove the background color, but we're going to make the text color be like a bright yellow. I don't like that. Let me go with this more golden color. Okay. And I'm going to hit bold. There we go. I think I like that. Now to test it out all the way, I can click on one of the numbers and I can see how it fills them in versus being left a little bit open. I'm not sure I do like the bold in the long run. I might remove the bold over here. Yeah, I like it better with it not being bolded. So I'm just going to select that whole row and remove the bold. Yeah. Okay. So that's all there is to it. Our toolkit is completely ready to use. If you want to bypass the time that it takes to prep this toolkit for yourself, you can click the link in the notes to get my template with all of the formatting done for you. And if you want to see how I use this toolkit, you can check out day 22 of my digital clean sweep on Substack. Have a great day.